Have you ever had that amazing moment when you and someone else say the exact same thing at the exact same time? Or maybe you're in a group and suddenly everyone lands on the same brilliant idea without even trying. It feels a little like magic, right? Well, that moment has a name. It's called CONCUR. CONCUR means to agree or to reach the same conclusion as someone else. It's a fantastic word that captures that feeling of harmony, teamwork, and shared understanding. You see it everywhere in friendships, families, teams, and classrooms. It's the word that brings people together, turning separate thoughts into a single, powerful idea. Let's break it down a bit. The main form is the verb concur. You might say, I concur with your opinion. The noun form is concurrence, which means the state of agreement. For example, their concurrence made the decision easy. The adjective is concurrent, meaning happening at the same time or being in alignment. You could say, they had concurrent ideas. And finally, the adverb is concurrently, which means doing things in a simultaneous or aligned way, like, the teams worked concurrently. Now, let's see how this word comes to life in some stories. Our first story is the field trip mystery. In a small coastal town, a class of 5th graders was practically bouncing with excitement. Their teacher, Mrs. Rowan, had announced a mystery field trip. No clues, no hints, just pure suspense. The bus started rolling, taking them through forests, past sparkling lakes, and along winding country roads. Naturally, everyone had a theory. It's gotta be the zoo. One kid shouted. No way, it's the aquarium. Another argued. I bet it's the science museum, someone else guessed. The bus was filled with a chorus of different ideas. Finally, the bus pulled to a stop at a quiet, beautiful beach. The waves gently lapped at the shore, and the sea breeze was fresh. Mrs. Rowan turned to the class with a smile and said, Today, you all get to decide our activity. At first, it was a little chaotic. The class split into smaller groups. One group was determined to build the most epic sandcastles the world had ever seen. Another group wanted to explore the shoreline and collect unique seashells. A third group had brought kites and was eager to see them fly high in the sky. It seemed like they would all just do their own thing. But then, something interesting started to happen. A kid from the sandcastle group wandered over to the shell collectors and said, Hey, what if we use your cool shells to decorate our castle? A moment later, someone from the kite group ran over. And what if we fly our kites from the top of the castle like flags? A ripple of excitement went through the groups. Kids from different circles started saying almost the exact same thing. Yeah. We could build a huge sand village and use the shells for windows and doors. And the kites could be like banners for our kingdom. They all started laughing as they realized they had all, independently, reached the same incredible idea. Mrs. Rowan gathered them together. It looks like you all concur, she said. Her eyes twinkling. And just like that, the day transformed. It became a wonderful blend of sand, shells, and soaring kites. They built a magnificent sand village, decorated with the most beautiful shells they could find, with colorful kites dancing in the wind above it. It was a perfect day, all because of that natural, unplanned moment of agreement. Our final story is the Science Fair Showdown. Aria and Jonah were partners for the school science fair, and it was not going well. They were complete opposites. Aria had her heart set on a classic, dramatic baking soda volcano. Jonah was obsessed with building a robot that could launch paper airplanes. For days, they argued. A volcano is so much more exciting. Aria insisted. But a robot is way more high-tech. Jonah countered. They couldn't agree on anything and the deadline was getting closer. One afternoon, they sat on a playground bench, both feeling defeated. Aria let out a long sigh. I just want to build something fun, she admitted. Jonah, surprisingly, nodded in agreement. Yeah, something exciting. They sat in silence for a moment, watching the other kids play. Then, Aria said tentatively, something that moves. Jonah's head perked up. Something that erupts. But safely. Suddenly, their eyes widened at the exact same time. It was like a light bulb switched on above both of their heads. They were thinking the same thing. In that instant, they concurred. Their final project? A robotic volcano that, at the push of a button, would erupt with a safe, foamy mixture and launch a fleet of paper airplanes into the air. It was a smash hit at the science fair. They won first place, and the crowd went wild with applause. It was a victory made possible all because two rivals finally found a way to agree on a shared, spectacular vision. So the next time you find your thoughts perfectly aligning with someone else's, remember there's a word for that: concur. It's a small word with a big meaning, celebrating the power of coming together. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed these stories and learned something new, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. See you next time.